Massive thanks to the mad lads and ladies supporting the channel. The doggos say thanks.
Hey everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and today we're going to talk about the moment I fell in love with Monster Hunter. So I wanted to just do a little bit of yapping today, and also I wanted to use this chance to try to make a second video on top of this one as well. So if you see that second video, congratulations to me. I succeeded in making 2 videos today, and the way I'm probably going to structure this moving forward is I am going to be trying to make 2 videos a day. One of them is going to be a yap video where it's not really edited all that much, and it's just kind of cut down with me talking about various things that cross my mind, because almost every day there is something I do want to talk about. And the other video will be an edited video. Now, the way I'm going to do this is, for now, they're both going to, come up at once, but pretty soon I'm going to try to make like 7 edited videos at once over the course of like a day or 2, maybe over a weekend. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to start giving patrons a week early access to my videos. Once again, if I can do this without literally fatiguing myself half to death, because that almost happened last time I tried this, but I think I found a way of doing it better this time. Okay, so I did want to talk about the moment I did fall in love with Monster Hunter, and while I'm doing that, I won't really be doing anything exciting in this video. I'm just kind of going to be grinding for Earth Crystals, because I do kind of need 11 more Earth Crystals in order to get the Legendary Sword, which is what I've really been trying to get. I don't know how bad or good it's actually going to be, but if it winds up being bad, I'll just grind it out to the Eternal Strife, which is a low raw damage, heavy Dragon Element Sword and Shield, so it's basically useless against a couple of monsters, but very useful against most others, including Fatalis. That said, as far as falling in love with Monster Hunter, what really kind of made me stick with the series was Monster Hunter World. Yes, in terms of like a Monster Hunter game you actually beat, I am one of those 5th fleeters, I guess people call them. However, where I started was with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So the weapon I gravitated towards in that game was, I'm sure you can guess, the Sword and Shield, because I like the concept of being able to block and then attack at the, all in the same vein. But you might say, no, hey, why didn't you go with Greatsword? Because it was slow and heavy and clunky. So, yeah, that's why I didn't really go with the Greatsword. However, what really made me fall in love with the Sword and Shield to begin with, not Sword and Shield, fall in love with Monster Hunter to begin with, was admittedly the Lance in Monster Hunter World. The moment that actually sealed it for me was when I was in an arena quest fighting in Azure Rathalos with a couple of other people. And what I usually do is, as soon as I get like really late into a game, like past high rank even, or even like as soon as, I reach high rank, I will literally spend almost all of my free time going back and then equipping a weak weapon but high resistance armor, and then just like helping people, like joining them as effectively an NPC, because that's just something that's fun to me. I like joining as somebody who's like playing fine, just casually playing, relax, just getting hit, not really working on doing the best I can, but just keeping the host alive and the other people alive and making sure they make it through their quest so they can get as far as possible into the game and get the maximum enjoyment out of it. And for me, it just feels like, sometimes I do join people where it seems like they're struggling, and I have joined people who are struggling a lot, and me intervening and like coming in and helping them has helped them win the mission. And they have been very, very happy as a result, and they've played the game longer. Some of them have even been like, hey, I was about to give up on the game, but thanks for helping me get past this, now I can get to the next part. And I remember that specific moment right there, and that isn't like I guess that's like one of the moments that really helped draw me in more, but this was later on when I was like really deeply ingrained into Monster Hunter already. So that moment specifically, I actually remember I was fighting a Namiel with someone. And I am somebody that will use the health bar mod because Final Fantasy. So, yeah, fight me. The health bar go down, make brain feel good. That's really all there is to it. But they were fighting a Namiel, and what I was doing was I remember I had a lance. I had a very weak lance equipped. I think it was like an early high rank lance, like an early to mid high rank lance. And I was helping them fight a Namiel, and we literally finished with like 56 seconds left. And yeah, so it's like those moments that really keep me in a Monster Hunter. But the moment that really got me into Monster Hunter was, like I said, when we were fighting an Azure Rathalos in the arena with a couple of other people. Now, while we were fighting this Azure Rathalos in the arena quest, what happened was, and like I said before, I was using lamps. So there was somebody who I saw was actually about to get hit by Rathalos' like, you know, special explosive fireball attack. And I don't know if it would have killed them or not, but what I did was I pretty much did the thing where you can like sidestep with the lance, like directly in front of them. And then after that, I went from the counter guard. So it's where you like hold block and then press like the secondary attack button where you'd upward thrust. So I'd hit the counter guard and then I very quickly pressed the back step button right after that. So I'd switch into like the full invincible guard. And once I did that, Rathalos launched the fireball. And I actually was able to like tank the hit for the person because they were sharpening their weapon and they definitely would have got hit by that. And then what they did is I sent that little heart, that little emoji sticker or whatever, where basically they have, it's like the hunter holding the heart or something like that. But that moment was really what sealed me falling in love with Monster Hunter. Because, that's my little secondary PC going through an update. Because for me, I am somebody that has been, you know, so if you look at like, you know, people who don't really have role models in their life, I've been deeply, deeply affected by, believe it or not, anime. Because I am somebody who likes to be a good person, who wants people around me to be good people. I don't like people being slimy or sketchy or scummy or scammy. I like transparency. I like just being a good, hardworking, honest person. To a pretty extreme degree, honestly. And seeing shows like One Punch Man, I think that's really where it kind of started for me. First it was One Punch Man, and then it was Demon Slayer. Like first it was One Punch Man, then it was Jujutsu Kaisen, then it was Demon Slayer. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I've always kind of been like a generally, you know, trying to be a good person type of guy. But I would say those shows affect me to a somewhat extreme degree. So now, for me, like where it falls into me falling in love with Monster Hunter is I actually love stuff that would make me feel like, yeah, I'm doing something that objectively helps make people's lives better. Even if it's something as small as saving somebody from a fireball in a video game and then being like, oh yeah, yo, dude, thanks, I appreciate it, man. You know, that is something that makes me happy and makes me feel good. Just doing good stuff. And it's not just there, it also extends into my, you know, real life actions. I like helping people with their groceries. I like helping people, you know, when they're hurt. I like helping people when they're down. I like, you know, just being there for people and doing something worthwhile with my time that can positively impact people. So, Monster Hunter, it's always been a game that for me it's been like, your whole objective is to go out there with other people and help them, you know, hunt these monsters, or they help you hunt these monsters. You help your village, you contribute to, you know, making the world a better place or something by hunting. But I know, like, that's not actually what it is, but if you look at something like Monster Hunter Ghosts, where literally the whole point is you go out, you hunt monsters, and it's to help the village and help build the village. And that sort of, and I think it actually started with Final Fantasy XII, which, again, you know, favorite video game of all time. The whole point of that, that's actually probably where it really started, before even all the anime, was Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy XII. Titus, and yes, I'm going to say Titus, don't at me in the comments, and Vaughn. And not just Vaughn, but also Bosch, Ash, and Balthier. Those 5 characters have been basically what guided me on, you know, my journey as what type of person do I want to be and what do I want to do in my life. I really like Titus. because I can relate to them. Having a dad that just kind of abandoned you, and you can tell your dad means well, but he's still kind of a shitty person for what he did. And then just wanting so desperately to find your own place in the world. And, you know, even now, just kind of being thrust into a world that you have nothing, you don't know anything about, and you're just kind of expected to make it on your own. And in order to survive, you have to rely on the kindness of strangers. And I think as I grew older, it's been, stuff like that, especially the whole kindness of strangers thing, that's helped shape me to be who I am. It's also why I like being, first of all, just helping people out and being a good person in general, but also being like a content creator. I have relied on the kindness of strangers for pretty much my entire adult life, because my family was never there. I mean, some of them were there, like, helped me out a little bit financially. Like, and by some, I mean only my mom and dad. And only sometimes. My mom, I'm not gonna get that. My mom, she didn't really, like, she's just in a bad situation herself, but I don't know, maybe if I can, I'll try to help her out if I can ever get to the point where I can afford to help her out. But my dad, again, that's family matters and all that. I'll talk about that if it ever becomes necessary. But yeah, it's relied on the kindness of strangers to help get me along, and then feeling like I need to pay that forward and wanting to pay that forward. Not just feeling obligated, but feeling, like morally speaking and just on a interpersonal level, wanting to pay that forward is kind of what helped shape me into being the person I am today. And the reason why is because I think that if people will spend their time and spend their money on saving me and helping me and keeping me safe, what kind of a person would I be if I just take advantage of this kindness? And also, seeing other people take advantage of their kindness is something that I think is just disgusting. Just disgusting in general. I think it's completely degenerate behavior if somebody's kind to you and you take advantage of their kindness. And like I said, for somebody like Titus, who's just kind of like a wanderer out there trying to make it on the kindness of strangers, for someone like Vaughn, who just wants to be free and be unshackled and kind of be his own person and explore the world and whatever else, somebody like, Bosch, who has, who feels like they, not even feels like, who has a duty, a sense of duty and honor and wanting to protect what they see as good and right and, decent and just something that they feel is that something they need to protect. For me, just being, all the good that is in the world, I guess, there's that anime protagonist stuff coming out again. Somebody like Ash, who wants to help the people around her live their best lives and be somebody who's a potentially good leader. Although I think I'd be terrible in a leadership position. I think I'd be a good dad, but I'd be a terrible leader. If I can ever get my financial situation sorted out. And somebody like Balthier, who's kind of a bit of a dick at times, but at the end, he does mean well, and he is an inherently bad person. Now, I am saying this with Balthier at the end of the game, and not Balthier at the beginning of the game. He's kind of a really shitty person at the beginning of the game. But yeah, for when bringing that back around to Monster Hunter, as far as the aesthetics go, obviously the aesthetics of the earlier Monster Hunter games is very, very similar to Monster Hunter 12, and in some places Monster Hunter 10. And just being in that position of wanting to help people out and wanting to help guide people along into really being able to enjoy the game as much as they can, so they can have that little bit of good in their life, to help fight that loneliness, to help just enjoy, life and, what they want to do with it, and Monster Hunter and everything else. I'm kind of blowing this up into more than what it needs to be, but I really, really feel like Monster Hunter is just a game that is objectively one of the best games that somebody who's kind of lost in life, or, just objectively lonely or sad, it's one of the best games they can play, because you're not really fighting against other players, except the longsword mains. I'm looking at you, and you're not really opposing people. You're all working together for a similar goal, and doing what you can to just lead your best lives and enjoy the game to the best of your abilities. And finding somebody who's stuck in that sort of position where it's like, I randomly join a quest, like people who's in like low rank or high rank, and they're like, oh man, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do because, yeah, I'm stuck. And being able to help them get past that roadblock without even realizing it, that's just, that is like the biggest of dopamine hits for me when I'm like actually helping somebody out and then they're like expressing joy because they were stuck. I don't know, maybe they're just they're feeling tedious, and it's just seeing those people being happy about working together and working towards a common goal. That is something that objectively makes me feel happy. That sense of community, I guess, for lack of a better term. Also, I guess to kind of wrap up this little rant to a nice little tidy bow, as far as like Monster Hunter goes, and even just getting into Monster Hunter World in general, it kind of started with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I did the demo because I didn't have any money as a kid. I did the demo on my PSP, and I really couldn't make any progress because I had no idea what I was doing. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I fought a couple of the weaker monsters on like a roommate's 3DS when he let me play it, and I had fun. It was fine. And then I was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That's where I was kind of like starting to get more into it because they were towards the end game and I was doing the expedition modes, and I was like, wow, there isn't a timer now. I now love this. And then after that, obviously, it was Monster Hunter... then after that was Monster Hunter Generations. I played a little bit as a Palico, lost my 3DS. Yeah, that was sad. That was a big sag. And then after that was Monster Hunter World. And that was the point where, like, the rest is history. As before that, though, I was... even before that, I was still really, like, trying to, join people in games and help them out. Especially the Souls series. So it started with Dark Souls 2. This is where this entire thing started. Way back in, I'm going to say 2017, when I got Dark Souls 2. And it was all I did was join people. I hated playing PvP, and then I loved joining people. Then I got a laptop. Not laptop, I got a desktop, a 1080 rig. And I think that was in like 2017, 2018. Because before that I had an Xbox One. It might have been like 2016 whenever I got it. I know there was, I pre-ordered Dark Souls 3. And I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 15 on the Xbox One, so there is that to consider. But I know that I just play Dark Souls 2, and I love joining people, especially in the Iron Keep, and I would like help them with invaders, and I would help them like progress through if they wanted to do that. But then after that, I played Dark Souls 3, and when I played Dark Souls 3, I was mostly staying in the Pontiff area because that's where most of the PvP and co-op was. And I would love helping people get through the area and also fight off invaders. Not gank all the time, but yes, I would gank sometimes because for me it wasn't like, oh, I want to win. It wasn't like a ganking in terms of winning. For me it was ganking because it was like, yeah, these people are kind of getting ganged up on already because you had like 2 or 3 invaders plus like 2 or 3 Aldrich invaders. And I would love helping those people get to those areas where they'd normally be stuck because they'd be getting spammed with invaders all the time. And besides that, after that, I actually got Dark Souls 3, the full, Fire Fades, not the Fire Fades edition, because this is before the Fire Fades edition came out. I got Dark Souls 3 and all the DLC on PC, on my 1080 rig. And what I would do is, I would actually, actually after I beat the game, I found out about modding the game, and I guess, quote-unquote, hacking. And, oh, okay, cool, I got enough thirst crystals now. And as far as the hacking goes, I wouldn't, one-shot everyone. What I would like to do is nerf myself to where it's like I'm doing maybe a little bit less damage than the actual enemies in the area, and then I would invade people as, like, a hacker mini-boss. And that became a whole thing way back when. I wasn't one of the good ones. I was more like a script kiddie more than anything. I would the most I would actually change is just animations for some of the spells to make them, have a bit more dramatic flair. And after that, what I would do is I would basically just join, like, invade people's worlds. Or sometimes what I would like to do as far as, like, join Monster Hunter and invading people's worlds, I would invade as a co-op Phantom. Because that's something you could do, and then I'd help the people through. And I'd use, like, some of my hacks, but I would always make sure I wasn't doing, like, an insane amount of damage. I would always try to do, like, not a lot of damage, but I would have on all these different, abilities and buffs that could help the host out. And that's just kind of where it started for me. It was like, yeah, I like being either this very minor roadblock that would only invade people's worlds and leave if it was just them, but... or, if they actually wanted to fight me. But as, like, a really weak, low-tier hacker mini-boss in, like, the beginning areas. Or I would join people in the later areas as a juiced-up NPC Phantom that wouldn't do a lot of damage, but would be pretty insane for support. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Excuse me, sorry about that. What I'm going to do... sorry, these videos aren't going to be very edited because I want to make 2 videos a day. What I want to do is I want to test this legendary sword, see how good it is. Oh, wow, but there's not really a lot I can test it on where I'd have a lot of time. Let's just do Genpray. And if there's a Gendrome there, then I'll just kill it. But yeah, in terms of, like I said, Dark Souls 3, I would love to just pretty much join these people as a weak hacker mini-boss, or basically invade as a co-op Phantom and confuse the shit out of them. And I would always make sure that I wasn't, like, spamming attacks. I would always make sure that I was doing just enough damage where it would, like, get their attention and they couldn't ignore it and just, like, poise through it. But, oh, I am using the Tarnished Sword. I am using the Tarnished Sword, and I meant to use the Legendary Sword. Why am I using... Oh, that's right, because I need to get the... I actually forgot to get the Earth Crystals. There we go. I think a Kutku's quest will be good for testing this out. I actually really love this Sword and Shield. It's one of my favorite in the game. But anyway, as I was saying, as far as, like, Dark Souls 3 went and joining the people and stuff, that's just kind of where it started for me as somebody who enjoys Monster Hunter and just enjoys this type of game in particular. I didn't really have the ability to play the Monster Hunter games after I lost my 3DS. I eventually did buy another 3DS. I can't remember if there was, like, a 3DS model before the XL, but I think it was a 3DS model before the XL. And whenever I bought that 3DS model, I got Monster Hunter 3U, 4U, Generations. And then after that, whenever I still had, like, the Luna tools to actually, like, rip games onto my PC, I pretty much ordered over Monster Hunter Double Cross. Oh, God, you son of a gun cat. And that's why I hate these cats. But yeah, in terms of... Oh my God, stupid cat. Yeah, in terms of, Monster Hunter, that's really where it kind of started for me. First it was Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls 3. And then after that, it was, oh, what was it? After that, it was Monster Hunter World. And that's really where it kind of started, but... like I said, unfortunately, I did have to sell my Monster Hunter games. Monster Hunter 4, I got access to it. That's all I can really say. It is literally, or at least it was back in, like, 2019, 2020. No, it was like 2020, 21. It is literally almost impossible to find a copy of Monster Hunter 4, just base Monster Hunter 4 to port over. Because... yeah, it's really rough. Oh my God, Kutku, you're not a Beyblade, please. But yeah, it's pretty rough trying to get a copy of Monster Hunter 4 to port over. So I was able to get access to it, but it was pretty rough getting to that point. So this Sword and Shield, its thing is that it does a lot, and I mean a lot of physical damage, but it does not have a lot of sharpness, and it does not have good sharpness. I think it's already on yellow sharpness, and it only starts in, like, just a little sliver of green. Just enough for, like, one single Sword and Shield combo. But it is still quite good if a monster doesn't have a lot of hide. Or if, I think there's, like, an armor set with Mind's Eye in this game. I don't know if this is the game, like, if Monster Hunter, not Monster Hunter, if Mind's Eye is a Monster Hunter one, but if it is, it would definitely be pretty interesting to see it. But yeah, this whole Sword and Shield, it's really strong. It has like 349 attack. Literally the strongest, I think, raw damage Sword and Shield in the game. And when you're a green, I believe you do bonus damage. But obviously, whenever you're not in the green, you're going to be bouncing off monsters a lot. So In this game, at least, you don't do reduced damage whenever you bounce off of monsters. You only do reduced damage whenever this weapon gets past yellow sharpness. So yeah, now I believe it's in the red, so I'm going to have to sharpen already. And that is real tragic, because first of all, Kutku needs to freaking chill. Please, Kutku. Same with this Vespoid. Oh my god. Alright, fine. I'll just leave the area. I will cheese the heck out of it. Okay, never mind. I'll just go ahead and sharpen if the Vespoid doesn't attack me. But yeah, this weapon, it's quite good at doing lots of damage whenever it's sharpened. So you want like a max stack of whetstones for this one. Unfortunately, like I said, Kutku's being a Beyblade and the Vespoid do not have any chill because, my goodness, daggum Vespoid. Oh wow, that one actually fell below the map. That's pretty funny. But yeah, you know, hey, I guess this kind of transitioned from a Yap video into like a normal gameplay video, but hey, you know, I'll take it. Honestly, though, I just kind of wanted to see what it was like. Sharpness isn't great, and then whenever I upgrade it for the final time, and I believe it's going to take like another 40 Earth Crystals, like 50 Earth Crystals, yeah, it's going to be in much, you know, it's going to be in better shape. Not much better shape, but it's going to have more yellow sharpness. Still, I just wanted to kind of test it out and see where it went. I just kind of wanted to yap it, y'all. I want to start trying to make like 2 videos a day, and the one video is going to be a Yap video. The second video is going to be like an edited content video. And the goal for me is to have the Yap videos stay, you know, unlocked. You know, there's no early access to them or anything. And the actual edited stuff, I will give patrons a week of early access to. Like I said, I will spend, you know, multiple days getting like a week of videos sorted out ahead of time. And I might actually work on that over the next few weeks. Or at least try to see if I can work on that over the next few weeks without actually, like, hurting myself or fatiguing myself too badly. And then that way, you know, the actual uploads won't be interrupted. That way, if there's ever a day where I miss an upload where I can't do both, I don't know if I'll either just go ahead and post the patron video that day or, like, the first video ahead of time, or if I'll just not post entirely. I might go ahead and post the first patron video, like the most recent, like the earliest one, ahead of time, just so that patron, you know, just so that everybody can have access to the video. And then I'll probably like try to work on an extra patron video later on. I don't know. We'll have to sort it out. I don't want to shaft the patrons, but I also don't want to shaft that, you know, the people who can't be a patron or who don't want to be a patron, because they don't deserve to get punished just because they're not giving me money. That's stupid. And obviously the patrons don't deserve to be punished for giving me money. I'm not the Denuvo. But yeah, like I said, or, you know, that all that said, I think I'm done yapping for now. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you want to see me yap some more. And leave a comment down below on what got you into Monster Hunter. I'm sure that everything I said about myself and kind of paint a certain picture of myself. I guess, want to preface this in case I do see it in the comments. I don't have a savior's complex. I'm not going to go out of my way to cause problems just so I can help with them. I just genuinely like being a decent person, and I hate seeing people be like slimy and scummy. And maybe it's just because I was like a really, really shitty kid. I was a really shitty kid. Like, there's a reason why my family kind of threw me out. Don't get me wrong, I shaped up by the time I was like 16, but it is understandable that a lot of them have a sour taste in their mouth over me. It's still shitty, but I was a really, really, really shitty kid. But yeah, all that said, thank everybody for watching, all that other stuff. Join the Discord if you want to join the community and play Monster Hunter with us all. And, or if you want to be notified whenever I start these videos, you know, using the roles tab in the Monster Hunter role. Please, people, use it if you're going to ask for games. I promise it's okay. And, join the Patreon if you want to support the future of the channel and help me feed my dogs and help me not have to worry about where my next meal is coming from, or if one car repair is going to, or, you know, one car breakdown, or I don't want to be homeless. Or at the very least, I want to be able to afford feeding myself if I ever do become homeless again. Wow, that's a little much. I didn't mean to throw that. Stressful times. Sorry about that. This is just a mostly unedited Yap video, so y'all gonna hear me throw some wild stuff out there sometimes, I'm sure. But yeah, it's only $1. Join the Patreon if you want to help me feed my dogs and pay for their shots and stuff, because that's the next thing I'm saving up for. I'm getting them their round of shots and, you know, get them their parasite protection and prevention stuff. But yeah, that's it. Thank everybody so much for watching. Thank you to all the new people. Thank you all to old people. Thank you, just everybody, for being here, for being good, for being just wonderful, amazing people. And yeah, I'll see you guys later on today, I guess, with the next video. Bye now.